All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Akeem, and welcome to this blog. Here to give you a scout report on a player who is actually on a lot of people's draft boards as a top 10 selection, which I disagree with, but I will explain later. Talking about Solomon Thomas, the defensive end coming out of Stanford. Now, this kid is a pretty good athlete, hailing from Coppell, Texas, and he was highly recruited not only for his play on the football field, but also for his academics. He did chose a great school to head for Stanford, not only for the football field, but they do have a good academic history, and this was a great selection. And on the football field, he did a pretty good job in 2016, in which he had 15 tackles for loss and 8.5 sacks, and he actually had 10 tackles for loss in 2015 season. He had a big year for 2016 though, garnering first team all Pac-12 conference, as well as 13 All-American and all academic Pac-12 selection as well. The kid is pretty smart. Now it's time for me to talk about his strengths and weaknesses. First, his strengths. Now, he does have great and powerful moves as far as shifting and getting in between gaps. He does a pretty good job with his technique and moves to evade opposing pass blockers to get to the quarterback. And he has great strength. He did bench press 225 pounds 30 times, and he also did run a 40 time in 4.69, which is the ideal speed that you want your defensive end to have to chase down ball carriers, which are great things. Now, as far as other things that I did like about him on the field, is that he did lead the team in tackles this past season, and he is not a quitter. He definitely plays through the end of the play when the whistle is finally blown. That's when he finally stops. Does a great job with that. Does not quit on plays. He does not. I haven't really seen him take that many plays off, as well as when I was watching him on film. This kid is a good athlete. He did come off of a great season. Other things that I do like about him is that he is a good leader on the team. He actually did a good job at actually getting his teammates more involved to help him more, to get the team motivated, and kept that defensive grudge growing in Stanford. We've been seeing some great defenses from the Stanford Cardinals over the course of the past 5+ seasons that we've seen in college football. He did come off of a big game in the Sun Bowl this past season over North Carolina, actually garnering defensive MVP honors. Now, there are some weaknesses that I did notice. Now, some people believe this is a weakness, but I kind of look at it as a strength at the same time, and I will explain is his size. He is 6'2", 272 pounds. He does have some great broad shoulders, but some people believe that's not the ideal height that they want their defensive end to have. But I don't really think it's too much of a weakness though, because it can be a strength, because he does have leverage against opposing offensive linemen, which is a great thing to have. Like we have seen over the time when he was with the Colts, Dwight Freeney. He's short in size, but for a defensive end. But he definitely didn't have a problem getting to the quarterback, which could be the same for Solomon Thomas. Now, other weaknesses that I did notice, now he was inconsistent as far as his play, as far as the sacks. He only had 8.5 sacks, and when I told you about his numbers at the scouting combine, as far as the bench press and the 40 time, I was expecting him to have at least 10+ sacks this past season, and especially with the fact that the team actually defensively actually created a lot of stunts to free him up on many occasions in which he did not get the sacks that you would have been looking for. And I did notice that because especially during the games like USC, he did get tackled for loss. He had a pretty good game, and as well as a good game against Arizona and Colorado. But then when he played against tougher opponents in the Pac-12, I didn't really see him do too well as far as in those matches. I think he should have improved a little bit. That is a little bit of a concern for me, because when he played against tougher competition, he didn't really perform too well as far as getting the sacks that you've been looking for, particularly when he had opportunities when he was freed up on his own. That is a little bit of a concern for me, especially with the numbers that he had at the scouting combine. Now, overall, for my projection, I actually see him as a first-round pick, but not a top 10. I think because of the situation and the scheme that he had taken advantage of at Stanford, that's why he was so productive. But I still see him as a solid first-round pick because of his speed and his strength. I think this is a great athlete, but not a top 10, possibly not even a top 15 selection at that. Now, the next time I'm going to catch you guys will be in just a couple minutes. I have more blogs for you for today. Thank you for watching this vlog. I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Be easy.